It's no secret that I like gory movies. So far, the series has been dedicated to reviewing nothing but barbaric and violent horror movies, specifically ones I find more interesting or, in some cases, amusing and mockable. But as fun as mindless gore can be, it can also grow tiresome, and gore isn't the only thing a movie needs in order to captivate me. A good chunk of the indie horror genre today is flooded by uninspired filmmakers rehashing old ideas and bringing little new to the table, especially when their only aim is to shock and disturb as much as possible. So naturally, I get excited when I find something new and refreshing, like a director spinning their vision into something challenging and original. Such is the case in today's video with director Lucky Cerruti and his company Dead Vision Productions. Lucky's 2019 short film, Kindness of Strangers, was one that surprised me to say the least. I went in expecting a generic, by-the-numbers, and forgettable horror short. But Kindness of Strangers swept the rug from under my feet with a good cast, strong writing, and technical competence. I was pleasantly surprised, and naturally, I wanted to see what Lucky's other work was like. Well, around the time I first watched Kindness, Lucky and co-producer Matt Sorensen had just finished shooting a brand new movie called Freak, and it's safe to say that even this one towers head and shoulders above Kindness of Strangers. A young couple are enjoying a night to themselves on a dark campsite and decide to get a little intimate. But little do they know they're being stalked by an unknown entity. The next morning, the girlfriend wakes up and is horrified to discover her lover being decapitated. Not by a killer in a mask, though. More on that later. It's now the weekend, and the young, isolated Jenna is lucky to get out of her room and go on a camping trip with her older brother Ryan, who's kind of a dick, and a bunch of his friends. On the way to the campgrounds, Jake tells the rest of the gang a horror story about the place. Legend has it that a man named Arthur Crenshaw was outcast from an overly religious town to roam the woods because he was born so hideously deformed that he was unrecognizable as a human being. Everyone treated him like he was a monster and not a human, and now anyone that he comes across in the woods is nothing more than another meal for Arthur. Of course, most of the gang is skeptical and laughs off what they think is just a tall tale, except for Jenna. Well, they all arrive to the campgrounds and are helped to settle in by an older gentleman, who Jenna makes the mistake of asking about Arthur Crenshaw. The man, now annoyed, complains that Arthur and his legacy is just a hoax, and one that has cost him a lot of business. So our group of teenagers settle into the campsite, and as weird things start happening around them, things get a little intense. And then one night, things completely spiral out of control. Similar to Kindness of Strangers, Freak may be a little cliche in the sense that it's working off tried and true genre tropes, but it does something unique in its approach. When writing the character of Arthur Crenshaw, Lucky and Matt wanted to put something in the character to make him stand out from many of his contemporaries. Arthur Crenshaw, in design, cannot physically exist in the real world like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, yet he is no less human than they are. Yes, Arthur kills and eats people, but it's because he has to in order to survive in his climate. He has no perception of morality or ethics. He's been outcast from a society that treats him like a monster, and in turn is limited in his reception of human emotions. Insecurities and a lack of belonging are two traits that Lucky and Matt have felt in the past, and possibly the best way they could have represented these feelings was through Arthur Crenshaw. The writing is strong throughout, the characters are well developed, and they each have personality traits that easily distinguishes them from one another. The actors are incredibly convincing in their roles, and there isn't a single cast member who sandbags or overacts. All characters are played to a T, to a point where I never saw the characters as just characters. The musical score is very minimal throughout, and the lack of music escalates the tension in many cases. The special effects are well done throughout, and the gore is sparing. The camera work is tightly done, the lighting is good, the movie is evenly paced and well edited. I don't have anything bad to say about Freak. The movie is fantastic in every way. And the ending, which I don't want to spoil, is one of the strongest I've seen in a horror movie in a while. When all is said and done, this is honestly one of the best independent movies I've seen this year, and I highly recommend that you give it a watch. Freak has had the honor of receiving awards from several film festivals and was even picked up for distribution by Wild Eye Releasing, a prolific distribution company that has given a platform to countless independent filmmakers. I'll be leaving a link to Wild Eye's shop as well as the Dead Vision Productions page in the description below, so please go and check them out. As always, thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.